You are listening to the Vibrant Life Podcast, episode 17.
The Vibrant Life.
Hey you, how's it going? Really good, I hope. I'm Emily Romrell, and this is the Vibrant Life Podcast. Summer is in full swing now, and I'm honestly not sure how we got here so fast. But I've been soaking up some sun and enjoying all the summery things, baseball, barbecues, bonfires, bicycle rides, I guess all of the great things that apparently start with the letter B. I feel like I could be on Sesame Street. But it is a really fantastic time of year, and I hope you're diving into your summer with gusto as well. And while you're feeling the excitement, now would be the perfect time to head on over to iTunes and share your thoughts in the form of a review on the podcast. It's a great time to spread the news to friends and family that would enjoy listening as well. Let's keep the ball rolling and the community growing. You know, I think we all have sayings of our parents floating around in our heads. Voices of loved ones like to repeat memories in our brains when the situation is just right. I know my mind is crammed full of these things. Things like, it's always right to be polite, or money doesn't grow on trees, and the phrase, it's always better to keep up rather than catch up, is a gift from my mother. This reminder has stayed with me, and my mom actually just repeated it to me again a few days ago, so this episode is dedicated to you, Mom. And I have to admit, peeps, I am loving the cover art for the episode this week. For better or worse, puns and cheesy jokes play a major part in my personality. And so using a ketchup bottle to promote the subject of keep up versus catch up is very me. And I also think that a ketchup bottle is an apt metaphor to kind of kick things off today. So let's get saucy. A few weeks ago, I went on a quick trip to Idaho with my brother. We stayed at my cousin's house and had a blast visiting with her and her family. And one afternoon, we played cornhole in their yard. And I gotta tell you that my beanbag tossing skills are not that great, but it was so much fun. And the teams were my cousin and me versus my brother and her little boy. Boys versus girls, go figure. But one thing that really made me smile is that whenever the throw was a little bit short, Daxton, the 10-year-old, would yell, "Give it more sauce!" So the thrower would give it some extra oomph next time. Side note, isn't oomph a fantastic word? I'm a word nerd, and that one makes me happy. But I think often in life, things pile up for us when we lose our oomph. It's easy to become complacent and bored in the daily grind. And when passion decreases, problems tend to get bigger. If we let things go this way for too long, we may get stuck and feel like life has left us behind. You might wonder how you'll ever catch back up to where you want to be. But we know how to turn that around, right? It can be difficult if you're struggling with your mindset or mental health especially, but the solution is a simple one. Put a little more sauce in your daily efforts. Right now you're probably thinking, okay, Emily, how exactly do I give my life more sauce? And I do have a few suggestions for you. Number 1 is embrace what makes you different. Every human on the planet is special and unique, which is something that I love about life. So each of us has our own brand of magic sauce to give to the world. A good place to start is to ask yourself, what is it that makes me, insert your name here, so for me, Emily, special and unique? There's a great quote by Meryl Streep, "What makes you different or weird? That's your strength." And if we can embrace what makes us different, that allows our individual passions to grow. And when we're passionate and excited, the oomph arrives. What makes you, you, is what adds the real flavor to your vibrant life. Number 2 is be playful. This is such a big thing, my friends. If you need some help to get you going, spend an hour playing with a child. Cornhole is a fun game, just saying. But things don't get much better than that, right? Playing with kids. As an adult, it's easy to let our cares and responsibilities weigh us down. We sometimes forget what life was like as a kid. Almost everything is a game if you want it to be. Obviously, there are times to be serious, but I believe we are serious too much of the time. And if you want to hear more of my thoughts on this topic, you should check out episode 12 of the Vibrant Life podcast, which is the Mary Poppins effect. But be playful, peeps. It makes a huge difference. Number 3 is manage your physical energy. To be honest, I've really struggled with this one lately. The upside is that I can affirm with experience how important managing your energy is. I deal with insomnia and debilitating headaches on the regular, which translates into low energy and fatigue a lot of the time. If you're physically drained, it's much more difficult to get things done, let alone to do them with oomph, right? So it's easy for things to pile up on you. But this is not an excuse to give up. I'm working hard to get things back into balance, and so just want you to know I am not giving up, but I do think that it's good for you to know that I struggle and that I'm working on my vibrant life from an imperfect place. We all are. I know personally that good nutrition and exercise make a difference. Spending time outside in the sunshine is also important. Getting a good night's sleep is more precious to me now than ever before. And I know that these answers may seem basic, but they're basic answers for a reason. They're vital to get the energy you need to be your best. So we've covered a couple ways to prevent things from getting out of control and how to give life more sauce. But what do you do when you're stuck in the thick of things? So you may or may not be familiar with the romantic comedy called Kate and Leopold. It's a cute movie, and the only reason I'm bringing it up is that in the show, the brother quotes this rhyme. It's actually by a poet called Richard Armour, I think is how you say his name. And it's kind of funny. It goes, "Shake and shake the ketchup bottle, none'll come and then a lot'll." And yes, we are sticking with the ketchup theme. But I think life is often like that. We have a goal we're working toward or a big job or chore that we need to do, and we get into this pattern of starts and stops in our efforts. We give a big push and then we forget it for a while and repeat. We shake the metaphorical ketchup bottle. This isn't always a bad thing, but you end up with mixed results. Sometimes you get what you want, and sometimes you get a big mess. One drawback of this start and stop method of doing work is that it takes a lot longer to get things done. House cleaning is the obvious example that comes to mind. I know that I'm guilty of this. I will do a deep clean of my home and then slack off until things kind of pile up, and then I get down and dirty with another round of chores. And I'm a fairly clean person, so things don't get too bad, but every once in a while, when I'm not feeling well, I'm sick or something, I'll let things slide. It's always more difficult after these slumps to dig myself out and get everything in order again. The key is consistency. How many times do we hear about the importance of our habits when it comes to success? Although routines can feel restrictive, the truth is that building order into our lives is a major key to freedom. Without a plan, we often waste time trying to decide what to do next. And when we have a schedule, we get straight to work, finish quicker, and free up time to do what we want. However, despite our best efforts, life is messy, and we all get into slumps. I love the book, Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss, and he describes this situation pretty well, so I'm going to read a little bit of that for you. "I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on, you'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and then chances are, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done." You can't really go wrong with Dr. Seuss. Yes, my friends, keep up is much easier than catch up. That's the point. But if you find yourself in catch up mode, don't get too discouraged. Just focus on the next best step. Most people are familiar with this quote from Lao Tzu, is probably one of the most famous quotes I know. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It's famous for a reason. And if you're able to get into a flow state of mind, the work gets done relatively fast. I usually listen to music or have an audiobook or podcast going on in the background when possible. But if you're truly overwhelmed, please don't be afraid to ask for help. Friends and family are usually happy to pitch in when needed, and too often we try to do things all on our own. It's all about the happy medium, right? Be as independent as you can, but be willing to give others the opportunity to show up for you. It's a nice feeling to be needed and to help people we care about. Don't deprive the special folks in your life of that chance. I bet you would do the same for them. And once you find yourself back on track, you can keep on keeping things up. So, the challenge this week is to tackle a big job that may have crept up on you, and then try to put a practice into place that will prevent that job from getting so big in the future. You can do it. I believe in you. Let's live the vibrant life. Hey, you. Don't forget to go to iTunes and leave a quick review on the podcast. It doesn't take long and it helps more than you know. Please share the love with your friends and family as well, and thanks in advance for doing that. I hope you have a great week. Take care.